Hello, hello, dear listener of Agape FM. The time now is 4 minutes past 1 p.m. on a beautiful Monday morning. We know that you are probably relaxing and chilling at home. We always at work. Cool. So we are now in the midday talk session. And the purpose of the midday talk session is really to share the stories of some of the movers and shakers of PE. And talking about movers and shakers of PE, we've got an amazing lady with us in the studio today. Today we have Vanessa Weber. And hi, Vanessa. It's great to have you in studio.
Hi, John. Thank you very much for having me. It's an absolute pleasure being here.
Awesome. Cool, cool. So I'm just going to go straight, read your bio, introduce you to our viewers and listeners so they know who they are looking at and listening to.
Okay, great.
So Vanessa is the owner of two incredible companies, You So Girl and V Models. So You So Girls was originally started as a source of a second income for a single mom, that is Vanessa Weber. As she had a background of fashion design, tailoring, modeling, and makeup artistry, she pretty much stuck to what she loved most and knew best. Vanessa is a huge believer in empowering others and finds it fulfilling to see others grow. Their beginner sewing classes are open to male and female alike, where they will teach you how to sew. If the knowledge you acquire is applied, the possibilities of earning an income or starting up a small business are endless, with little capital needed, from making curtains, bedding, clothing, to horse blankets, dog leads, or safety clothing. The list goes on. They will soon be opening a branch in Greenbushes for those in the area with no access to transport to their current venue in the evenings, and are super excited about this, as the lady they will be training used to be Vanessa's domestic. All thanks for any success to God Almighty. V Models was born from a previously broken business relationship, sadly. As difficult as it was for Vanessa to move through that transition phase, it turned to work in her absolute favor, just as the Lord promises us. It taught her well that He sees farther than we do, and we simply need to trust Him in even when we do not understand. That's true indeed. Again, she chose teaching as she found it exceptionally fulfilling to train kids and young adults and simply watch them grow and gain self-confidence and simply blossom. She loves it. Again, all thanks alone to the loving Creator. Wow, what a bio. Cool. So, Vanessa, we're going to start from the very beginning.
Okay,
You
great.
know, I like stories, and everybody loves a good story, because we usually have, a story starts from, a beginning and builds up, then there's tension in the story, and then it goes down to a climatic end. So this is exactly how we like it here.
Okay.
Even in the very beginning, God created heavens and the earth, and there was chaos. So, how was it in the very beginning? What led you? What took you off? I believe you probably had a job, 8 to 5. Or you want to tell us the story of how all this began?
Okay. Well, if I had to go back to the very beginning, I would have you busy for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I found it quite amusing when you mentioned chaos, because I can truly tell you I came from an absolutely chaotic background. Very dysfunctional family. Not great beginnings. I was not the child with a silver spoon in their mouth. And everything that I had in my life, I had to fight for.
Sure.
I came from strong stock. We were taught that you fight for what you've got to, what you want and what you want to go after. Which it turned out in my favor too, through the tough times in life.
Yeah.
So when I hear the word chaos, I can say to you, yes, just always bear in mind that when you're in the midst of chaos, it doesn't mean you're going to be remaining there. God works in very mysterious ways, and I've seen this in my life over and over and over and over, where I've said, why, God, why? And then if I look back three years down the line, I'm like, Oh, I get it now. I get it now. So, yeah. I could say to you that You So Girl as well as V Models were born out of a time when I needed an income, or an extra income at least. I was working full-time as a single mother, and I decided to go in these directions. And that is where it all began. And it was very challenging because there was a time where I was working an 8 to 5 job. From there, going in, giving classes for modeling. From there, going in, giving classes for sewing. And I still had children to look after.
Sure.
And I can thank my mother-in-law for all the help that she gave me then, because, you know, she was helping me with my kids at the time. I was working at night. And, yeah, there were a lot of people that assisted me, which I'm obviously grateful for. And I'm probably not going to remember all the names right now under pressure. But, yes, that's how it started.
Cool.
But I'm rambling, so let me pause.
Cool. And so you started the 2 businesses together, or one after the other?
I initially started with V Models because I came out of a broken business relationship, where there was unfortunately betrayal involved. But that's forgiven, and I put it in the past, and I certainly don't have ill wishes there. I think God needed to do what he needed to do in his way. At the time I didn't understand it, but I can see now, you know, everything that he does is always for our good.
It's true.
He's always looking out into the future that we cannot see and we cannot conceive. So that's how it started, and I went into V Models literally from scratch with nothing, on my knees, and I can really, really say to you that if it wasn't for God, that business wouldn't exist today. And the same with you, So Girl.
For sure. And then I actually thought it was the other way around. I thought you would have started with you know, You So Girl. Cool. So when was this? How far back did you start?
4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Yes.
Cool.
And then
2017.
Yeah, and then You So Girl came in after that. And I was kind of on, off. And it was difficult for me because I would be doing both classes and I couldn't choose. And I kept telling myself, you have to choose. Which one are you going to stick with and which one are you going to drop and let go? And at the end of the day, I couldn't. I actually enjoy giving classes and teaching people, I'll be very honest. And for me, modeling is just as fulfilling as teaching sewing. Many people won't understand it, but when you see children that come in with no self-esteem or, you know, self-confidence and that type of thing, when you see them grow, you know that what you've done is for the better and for the good.
For sure. Cool. And so I just wanted to find out, why the name? Actually, we're going to dwell on the names because, you know what, you know, in biblical, you know,
names are important.
Yeah, names are important.
Yes.
You name something, it's very prophetic. It's you actually naming a destiny. So why V Models, and also why You So Girl?
Okay, You So Girl there was not that much deeper in it. It was just the play on the you so fine girl, you so girl, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And on V Models, initially it was V for Vanessa, and I thought, you know, really, V for Vanessa. But for me, and very, very few people know this, the V is for victory.
Victory.
The V stands for victory.
Wow, that's incredible. And well, from the photos that we have seen, well, I can tell you, man, there is a testimony, you know, that is coming out of those 2, you know, companies.
I must add, though, I did not do this all on my own. I have the most amazing people in Bloemfontein running You So Girl and running V Models Bloemfontein. Awesome people that give everything. Good people, humble people, people with their feet flat down on the earth, if you know what I'm saying, that really give everything to the business. And that plays a big role.
That's really incredible. Well, you said you had a background in sewing, and you said sewing, fashion, design, etc. Well, when did it start? Is it a passion? Please.
I've always loved modeling. I modeled all my life
Were
from
you a
very
model?
young. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I've been in the Herald, and that was when I was in P at 16 and off again. I did ads for Hyundai. Yes, I have a strong modeling background. And concerning the fashion designing, it was something I always wanted to do when I was in school. I think there are a lot of good little girls that want to be a fashion designer.
Yeah.
And I was artistic, so I wanted to do this. And, you know, everything that I wanted to do and wanted to study, a lot of people don't understand, you know, from hairdressing or makeup or this or that. I'm one of those people. If I want to know how to do something, I'm going to go study it, and I'm going to find out, and I'm going to do it properly, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's where all that started.
Okay, cool. And, well, we know there's a famous saying that Rome wasn't built in a day. So I think your businesses are 4 years old now?
Yeah, they're still babies.
Cool.
They're still babies.
Oh, well, you are saying that to somebody probably right now who's thinking, who's got an idea, and they think in 2 months, 3 months, they will, you know, be on the top of the world.
Yes.
So 4 years and you're still a baby.
Yes.
Wow. So, dear listener, viewer right now, it takes time. It takes quite a while to build something good. A lot of work goes into it. When you see, the work that Vanessa has put in it, you know that real hard work went into it. A lot of sacrifice. So, talking about hard work and sacrifice, you're wearing a lot of hats. You're a mother. You've got kids.
Yes.
Cool. And you're running 2 businesses.
Yes.
How do you manage your 24 hours, being all that?
I think it's in the end of the day, it comes down to teamwork. It's not something I'm doing on my own.
Delegation.
Like I said, I've got amazing people running the Bloemfontein branches. And then also, and this is something you can never forget, you know, if you don't put it in God's hands, it cannot be a success. It will not be a success. You know, from the very beginning, before I started V Models, I prayed very hard and I said to God, look, Lord, this industry is not exactly the industry that I was dying to go into, because there's so much vanity and there's so much cattiness and nastiness and two-facedness. This is really not my scene, Lord. And you know what? He's put me in this industry, and I believe he's put me in this industry for a reason.
Yeah.
There's some difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We all are.
Yeah.
We're all unique and we're all different.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Cool. And I just want to say this, compliments to the work that you're doing. We actually congratulate you, man, because it's not easy to groom someone, you know, who had self-doubt, low self-esteem, and you actually see them, you know, walking down there. Is it called a runway?
Yes.
You know, like looking elegant and full of confidence. How does that make you feel?
Amazing. I love it. And when I see them win, I go wild at home, jumping around, screaming. I think my neighbors must think I'm mad, because I am an absolute introvert. I am very quiet. You don't even hear music coming from my house. And every now and then you're going to hear this kind of screaming, woo! You must think, what is this woman on? So I get very excited. I do. I really, really do. That's why I said to you, it's extremely fulfilling to watch them grow and to watch them win and to watch them flourish. Yeah.
Cool. Please, if you can just like give us 2 scenarios, or you don't have to go all the way into details.
Okay.
Well, we, you know, running the business on a day-to-day basis, there are highs and there are lows. What are some of your epic moments, you know, where it was really high? You know, like you were like, man, it gives yourself sense of fulfillment.
Yes.
You know, purpose.
Yes.
And also when you were like, you know, when you haven't met a goal or something, and it made you really feel like, yeah.
You will always have good days and bad days. That's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
It's how you handle it and how you come back from it that's going to make a difference. I would say to you, for me personally, my highs were not so much we're in the papers or we're on the radio or, you know, I think different personalities, different things. For me personally, my high has always been when I look at a student and I see where they are now, and I recall where they were 3 weeks or 3 months ago. That is my kick. That's what I get out of this, or my drug in this, if I can put it that way. But I would say to you, absolute lows, it's not always easy in this industry. You've got to be on call 24/7. We're still a very, very, very small business. We are not a big, gigantic international business. So, you know, you're going to be doing a lot of the dirty work. But that's the way the cookie crumbles again. You know, somebody's got to do it. So just do it and just get on with it.
It's true.
Yes.
It's true. I mean, you just have to put your boots on and just go for the work.
And just keep going. The days that you get up and you think, is it worth it? Did I do the right thing? Get on your knees and pray first so that you can get your mind right. And then from there, just keep going. Irrelevant of how you feel or how negative you might be at that time. Just keep going. Do what you've got to do.
For sure. And I just want to say, you've been running this business 4 years now. What have these 4 years taught you? Something about you, like something that sticks out, you know, that probably your students or, you know, the people you've trained, you know, have caught on. That's something you didn't know about you. Because we all have blind spots. We don't know one or two things about ourselves, you know. How has that, you know, revealed something?
I have never been a patient person. And my kids love to remind me. And it always fascinates me that my students think I'm an exceptionally patient person. That blows my mind. Wow. So I've learned that there is a possibility I could actually be a patient person. Work required.
Cool. And, you know, like one of the things in business is perseverance, you know, like to persevere, you know, like endurance. Business really does teach you that, pulls on certain things, you know, you have to tolerate certain things, you have to go through certain things. I know you have an end, you do have a goal, and we always are working towards that goal. If that goal could have been reached in 1 day or 1 month, but now 4 years and you're still going, you definitely have a goal and stuff like that. So it does show some sort of perseverance, and you say patience. That's really cool. You mentioned something about branching out and growing and starting something in Greenbushes. Do you want to elaborate on that? What are the future growth prospects?
The future growth prospects are is we are definitely going to be franchising both businesses, so there will be franchise opportunities available. And once again, it'll be obviously, you know, whoever's most suited. You know, it's not just going to be a case of you sell it off to the highest bidder type of thing. You know, the whole world is just about money, 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 money. And you've got to have the right personality in both these businesses with the right credentials, obviously. I mean, you could take somebody and they could be trained, which is what we're going to do for Greenbushes. I have an amazing lady. Oh, she should have been a manager. It's crazy. She used to be my domestic, but she would tell me exactly how I should hang the curtains and what matches and what doesn't matches. And, you know, I'm a fashion designer, but she would tell me how this is done. But I loved it because, you know what, she is so together. I've got so much respect for her. Anyway, so she's in Zimbabwe now. Her mom has been very ill. When she gets back, she will go into training, and she is going to be the lady that will be running Greenbushes.
Ooh, fantastic.
Which I'm very excited about, and I know she is too. So
what's her name?
Irene.
Irene. Compliments to Irene, man. Yes. Wherever you are, you're tuning in or you watch this later, compliments. That's really great. You also did mention, like, when you were I think it was V Models. It came out of a failed business relationship, and you said it was hard for you to transition through that phase. Do you want to just like dig in into that phase?
I'm going to dig into it without getting myself legally implicated.
Okay, cool.
It basically comes down to things just went very, very wrong. I'm a difficult person when it comes to things like dishonesty and you know, things like that. So things went wrong. Let's just leave it at that. I don't want to touch there too much. It was hard for me. I'm just that person that doesn't get over something quickly. I battle to get over things. And for me, honesty and integrity are everything. And if I've trusted you in any way and that has been broken, it takes time to heal from that.
Yes, true.
And sometimes I'm a little bit like a child in that way. So, you know, I pout about it for a long time, but eventually I get over it. it was hard for me to get over that. It really was, and I didn't understand at that stage, you know. But I prayed a lot about it, and you know, I just knew that God has another plan. At that stage, I thought He's going to take me out of the industry completely. To be honest with you, I really did, but apparently not. Here I am.
Cool. Well, that's really cool, you know, because, you know, sometimes we have, let's say, bad blood, if you put it that way, with other people, and you know, like, when these relationships are torn, you know, and it just puts people on, like, in a very sour note and stuff like that. But to see that you just, like, put it just in the back.
It wasn't that easy.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I'm just a human being. I was very angry.
Yeah.
I had anger issues that I needed to deal with. I had unforgiveness
Yeah.
in my heart
Yeah.
that I needed to deal with.
Yeah.
But God works with the person as you go along. And He points these things out to you and says,
Yes,
but wait
true.
a minute, what about that one that you haven't forgiven? And what about that? And what about that?
It's true.
So I'm not perfect, don't get me wrong. Far from it.
Yeah. You know, I like one statement by, you know, one of my favorite motivational speakers, Mr. How do I call it? Mr. Brown.
Yeah.
Is in the States, and he says, "What? It's better to get forward than to get even." You know, sometimes you have to pick your battles. You know, some